Hello everybody and welcome back to another Vinyasa flow class. You don't need any props for this class today unless you know that you like to have them on hand. So feel free to get your space all set up and we're going to get started in a Bakasana pose. So seated in the middle of your mat. Just seated up on your shins. Allow your eyes to close down. Hands can rest in your lap. Palms face down if you'd like to feel a bit more grounded, or palms face up if you would like to feel a bit more receptive. Wherever you are, find a broadness across the chest and collarbones. Length through the spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Feel the shoulder blades draping down the back body. And simply arrive here. Start to notice your breath. Feel where it's moving in your body. And as you start to build up that picture of your breath, can you start to elongate it? Make those inhales a little bit fuller and the exhales a little bit longer. Starting to draw your attention in towards your own space. Creating this strong, fluid, consistent rhythm through your breath. The rhythm that will guide you through the rest of the practice, no matter where we go, no matter what you do. Let this breath be your guide. Deep inhale through the nose, fill up right the way down into the belly. Long exhale out the mouth. One more time like that. Inhale through the nose, fill up. Strong exhale out the mouth. Start to bring the inhales and exhales both in and out through the nose. Perhaps making a slight constriction at the back of the throat, turning on your Ujjayi breath. And then go ahead, plant your hands out in front of you, come into a tabletop position. Start to take some circles over the wrists, just warming up. Into the arms, into the forearms, into the wrists. Feel the fingertips really spreading apart, gripping the mat. And then go ahead and flip the fingers so they point back towards your knees, open out through the undersides of the wrists. Maybe take some sways forwards and back here. Starting to bring a little bit more awareness into your body. Go ahead, inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart and chest for your cow pose. Exhale, curl everything in, dome through the spine, cat. Inhale, open up, cow. And exhale, curl everything in, cat. Inhale, open. Exhale, curl. Flip the palms back to the front. And go ahead, tuck the toes, sit back on towards the heels. Bind the hands behind the back, right thumb on top of left, and then inhale, puff up through the chest, draw the fingertips back behind you, reaching towards the back of your mat. Keep broad across the collarbones. And then exhale, close everything off. Release the hands, interlace left thumb on top of right this time. Inhale, pull the chest and heart up. Chin lifts, heart lifts, and then exhale, release everything off. Interlace the fingers up at heart center. Inhale, puff up into the hands. And as you exhale, flip the palms away from you, dome through the spine, push the hands away. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Keep that interlace of the fingers. And go ahead, exhale, twist over towards the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale right. Inhale back through center. Exhale left. Inhale center. This time as you exhale, cactus the arms, serve the heart up on a platter. Let the elbows knock forward as the backs of the hands get heavy back behind you. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Come back into that tabletop position. Release the tops of the feet, give them a tap. And then go ahead, tuck the toes underneath you once again, press down through the hands, protracting the shoulders, and float your knees just half an inch off the floor, floating tabletop. As you inhale, you're going to kick the left knee up and in towards the butt, and you're going to kick it under and through, coming into a reverse tabletop. Right hand plants back behind you. Inhale, bridge the hips up. Exhale, lower down. Left knee is going to hug into the chest, right hand is going to float, and you're drawing that left knee underneath you again, coming into your floating tabletop. Draw the right knee into the butt this time, and then exhale, you're kicking it under and through, stepping it down, placing the left hand down beside you. Inhale, bridge the hips up, reverse your tabletop. Exhale, lower the hips, right knee draws in, left hand floats, and you draw it back where you came from. A few more rounds just like that. Inhale, kick the left knee into the butt and send it under and through, step it down, right hand plants, inhale, bridge the hips up. Exhale, lower the hips, draw the left knee into the chest, right hand floats, draw it underneath you. Right foot kicks in towards the butt, slide it under and through, place the hands, inhale, rise. Exhale, lower the hips, right foot floats, left hand floats, draw it underneath you. Inhale, left heel kicks in, send it through, step it down, floating reverse tabletop. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Left foot picks up, right hand picks up, thread it under and through. Right heel kicks in, send it underneath you, plant it down. Reverse your tabletop. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower the hips. Draw the right knee into the chest, left hand floats. Come back, floating tabletop. Take one inhale here. Can you peel your chest and heart forward to the front of the mat? And then exhale, go ahead, release the knees, untuck the toes, sit back onto the heels. Take the fingertips back behind you. Inhale, bridge the hips up. Little camel prep here. Get expansive through the front body. Peel yourself open. Exhale, release the hips back down to the earth. Go ahead, plant your hands, tuck your toes, step the feet back into your plank pose. Get really strong and solidified here in your plank pose, pressing down through the hands, wrapping the triceps in. Can you send your energy back through the heels of your feet? Draw the navel up and in towards the spine, pressing down through the shoulders. Take an inhale here. Exhale, dropping the heels over towards the right. Left hand lifts, Vashisthasana, side plank. Can keep the feet staggered. You can have them stacked. You can even take a modified by dropping that right knee down. Just wherever you are, find steadiness and strength. One more inhale. Exhale, left hand plants. Come back to center plank pose. Exhale, drop the heels over towards the left, your Vashisthasana, side plank. Any variations, modifications that you need, take them. Can you lift the hips up a little bit higher, press down through that left hand, feel really supported in your base. One more inhale. And then exhale, right hand plants plank pose. One more inhale here. And then exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment pedaling out through the feet, shifting the hips, bending right knee, then left. Perhaps shifting the heels over to one side and the other, getting into the side body. Just use this as a moment for you to tap into a little bit of primal movement. Make it feel organic to you. And then once you've had your wiggles, your wriggles, go ahead and walk the hands back towards the feet. Forward fold, back of the mat. Take an inhale, halfway lift, come up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold down. Heel toe the feet nice and wide, and then sink the hips down, malasana. So start to shimmy some space into the hips, shifting from side to side. Feel some opening through your hips, feel long through the spine. Can you keep broad across the clavicle? Place the hands out in front of you. Take an inhale here. Keep long through the spine as you exhale. Straighten the legs, fold. Maybe you pivot the toes in slightly. Inhale, sink the hips down, malasana. Exhale, stay long through the spine, lift the hips up, forward fold. Inhale, come down, malasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sink the hips. Keep long through the spine, broad across the shoulders. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift here. And then exhale, fold down. Go ahead, walk the hands back out into your downward facing dog. Once you get into your down dog, inhale, right toes reach up and back and behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it to the outside of the right hand, lower down the back knee. Inhale, lizard lunge. Keep reaching the collarbones towards the front of the mat. And then as you exhale, sink the hips, flex the front toes, half split. Inhale. And exhale, fold down. Inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rebend into that front right leg. Plant the left hand, tuck the back toes. Inhale, reach that right hand up towards the sky, twisted low lunge. One inhale here, peeling your chest up towards the ceiling. Exhale, right hand's going to plant to the inside of that right knee, spiral down the back toes. Inhale, left hand comes up towards the sky. Konasana, side angle pose. Always welcome to come up onto the forearm of that right hand here, or use that right hand as a measuring stick to peel your chest open. Inhale. And then exhale, we're sinking to the back of the mat, coming into our skandasana. Left toes pivot out towards that back corner, sink the hips down. Always welcome to use hands here. Keep that left heel grounded. Right toes point up towards the sky. If you have the range of motion to sink down deep, go for it. Wherever you are, keep the spine long. Keep peeling that chest open towards the sky. One more inhale. And then go ahead, exhale, you're going to crawl yourself back to the front of the mat. Left hand's going to plant, spiral all toes to face right, come into high horizon, reach that right hand up towards the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, plant down into that bottom hand, that left foot, and then drag that right heel up and in towards the chest, Vashisthasana, side plank. Maybe that knee hugs in towards the chest. Maybe it stacks on top of the left. Maybe you even try and straighten through that right leg. One more inhale. And then exhale, three-legged dog, right hand plants. Keep that right toes lifted up towards the sky. Slight bend into the left knee as you look forward. Inhale, pull your chest and heart through into upward facing dog. And then exhale, back downward facing dog. When you get there, inhale, left toes reach up and back behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it to the outside of the left hand. Lower down the back knee. Inhale, chest and heart pulls through, lizard lunge. Exhale, send the hips back, half splits. Inhale, halfway lift, get long through the spine. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, come up halfway. Keep pulling the chest and heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, peels you up. And then exhale, folds you down. Next, inhale, rebend into that front left leg. Plant the right hand, tuck the back toes. Inhale, lift the back knee, reach the left hand towards the sky. Twisted low lunge. Keep wrapping that rib cage underneath you to peel you open to the sky. And on your next exhale, you're planting the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Spiral down the back heel. Inhale, right hand reaches up towards the sky, Konasana. Again, come up onto the elbow, use the hand as a measuring stick wherever you need to go to find length, to find space, and then inhale, peel yourself open. Stay here. And then exhale, we're bending into that back right knee, coming towards the back of the mat into our skandasana. Sink down into it. Stay lifted if that is where you find the most amount of awareness, the most amount of engagement. One more inhale here to bring expansiveness, to bring openness. Next exhale sinks you down a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, you're pulling yourself forward to the front of the mat. Right hand is going to plant as all toes turn to face that left side edge of your mat. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. Press down through all points of contact. Lift the hips up nice and high, high horizon lunge. Gaze comes up towards those left fingertips. One more inhale here. And exhale. Next inhale, you're drawing that left knee up and in towards your chest for your Vashisthasana side plank. Again, find the space that works for you here, whether that left knee is hugging in towards the chest or if it is stacked. Even if you drop down onto that right knee and you modify, just wherever you are, find a space of steadiness, a space of strength. Feel connected, feel capable. Maybe you even try to straighten that top left foot. One more inhale. And then exhale, left hand plants, coming into your three-legged dog. Left toes are reaching up and back behind you. Soft bend into the right knee, look forward between the thumbs. Bend into the elbows as you inhale, pull through upward facing dog. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up and back behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it to the outside of the right hand, drop the back knee. Inhale, chest and heart pulls through, lizard lunge. Exhale, sink it back, half split. Inhale, you're pulling forward once again, tuck the back toes, plant into the left hand. Inhale, right hand reaches. Exhale, right hand plant, spiral down the back heel, side angle. Left hand up towards the sky. This time, inhale, reach it up and over the ear. Feel that line all the way from the left fingertips down towards that left outer edge back foot. One more inhale here. And then exhale, sink it towards the back of your mat, side, not side angle, skandasana. Take an inhale here, really peeling the chest in towards the fingers. Maybe you want to reach around and grab a bind. You're welcome to. One more inhale. Exhale, releasing any bind if you had it. Maybe you don't use your hands as you try to crawl yourself back to the front of the mat. Left hand plants down and you spiral all toes to face right, high horizon lunge. Press down through the feet, lift the hips. Next inhale, you're going to draw that right knee up and in towards your chest. Maybe this time you reach those right toes back behind you for a wild thing. Wherever you are, keep pressing the hips up towards the sky. Stay open. Stay courageous. One more inhale. On your next exhale, you're closing everything back off. Right toes reach up and back behind you, three-legged dog. Look forward between the thumbs, soft bend into that left knee as you pull through upward facing dog. And exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left toes reach up and back behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, step that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Lower down the back knee, inhale, lizard lunge. Exhale, sink it back, half split. Inhale, pulls you forward, back toes tuck. Reach the left hand towards the sky, twisted low lunge. Exhale, left hand plants, spiral down the back heel, Parshvakonasana, side angle. One inhale here. Exhale, sink to the back of the mat, Skandasana. If you caught the bind on the other side, feel free to go for it here. You have a bit of time, you have a few breaths. Use those breaths however feels good to you in your body, whether you are using them to drop into a deeper state of space, Maybe you're using those breaths to generate power. Next, exhale, release the bind. Inhale, pulls you to the front of the mat. Right hand's going to plant as all toes turn to face the left. Left hand reaches. Exhale, draw that left knee up and in towards the chest. Maybe it steps over and behind this time for your wild thing. Pressing down through the feet and through the hands. Opening through the chest, pressing the hips towards the sky. Inhale here, find space, find strength. And then exhale, everything closes off. The left hand plants, lift the left toes up and back behind you, three-legged dog. Look forward, soft bend into the right knee. Inhale, pulls you through upward facing dog. And then exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. Go ahead, inhale, walk the hands to the back of the mat, take a forward fold over the legs. Maybe you grab opposite elbow with opposite hand, ragdoll the head. Release the arms, take a nice deep bend into the knees, and then ripple up through the spine, coming up to stand. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Get long, get tall, Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe engage the glutes to press the hips forward at the top there. And then exhale, hands come down to heart center. Inhale, come high up onto the toes here. Exhale, bend into the knees. Feel like you're sliding down a wall, keeping your shoulders stacked on top of your hips here. Sink down, sink down, sink down, until you arrive down onto your feet. Draw the knees up and in towards the chest. Then go ahead, exhale. You can use your hands if you like, or try to softly drop down onto the knees. Inhale, press the pockets of the hips forward, unravel through the spine. When you get there, exhale, cactus the arms open. Inhale, hands come up through center, untuck the toes, sit back onto the heels. Take an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, walk the hands down, embryo pose. A few deep breaths here. Perhaps feeling any increase in heart rate. Next inhale lifts you back up to a seat. Go ahead, plant the hands out in front of you, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. When you arrive in your downward facing dog, inhale, right toes reach up and back behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw that right knee across your body, give that left tricep a tap. Inhale, reach it back behind you. And then exhale, right knee taps right tricep. Inhale, up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee taps left tricep. This time, as you exhale, figure four the legs so that right ankle hooks onto the left knee. Figure four down dog. Inhale, come high up onto the left toes. As you exhale, drop that heel over towards the right. Sink the hips down, coming into a little figure four. If you can, sink the hips all the way down, go for it. You can take the left hand and just peel that right hip open. And lefts and rights get really finicky when you're twisting around like this. Next, inhale, press down into the feet, into the hands, lift up for this figure four side plank. Exhale, left hand's gonna plant. Keep spiraling it over and around as that back heel drops over towards the left. Inhale, Vashisthasana, side plank. Draw the right knee up and in towards the chest. Look to the front of the mat and you're stepping that right foot down. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Sink the hips down, get heavy into the hips here. And then inhale, draw the hands through heart center, come to prayer, lean the chest and heart forward over that front leg, and maybe you drag the left toes up, coming into your warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Reaching through the crown of the head, reaching through those back toes. As you inhale, take a soft bend into the right knee to draw that left knee up and in towards your chest. Exhale, left heel hooks on top of the right knee, sink the hips down, figure 4 chair pose. You can stay upright here, or maybe you have the space and you'd like to fold down. If you know the arm balance, you're welcome to go into it. Hooking the leg onto the arms, planting the hands, shifting the weight, kicking that right heel in towards your butt. Maybe even reaching the right toes back. Then lowering down that foot once again. Inhale, coming up. Next, inhale, drive to stand, draw that left knee up and in towards the chest. Then exhale, set it down in line with the right. Inhale, come up onto the toes. As you exhale, start sliding down that back wall again, bending into the knees. Once you get there, hips rest onto the backs of the heels. Draw the knees up and in towards the chest. And then as you exhale, knees, triceps, triceps, knees, plant the hands. Start shifting the weight into the hands. So your knees are up and in towards the armpits. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you kick one heel in, set it down, kick the other heel in, set it down. Or maybe you're shifting the weight and floating both toes up into your Bakasana. If you have a strong Bakasana, maybe you try floating one knee in towards the middle of the chest, sitting it back, floating the other knee middle, and sitting it back. Wherever you are, stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jump back, float back, stumble back, take a vinyasa, whatever you need to do. We're all meeting back in downward facing dog. When you get to your downward facing dog, inhale, left toes reach up and back behind you. Exhale, draw it across body, give that right tricep a tap. Inhale, left leg up and back behind you, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, left knee, right tricep, hold. And then this time sink the weight back, come into your figure 4 down dog. Left ankle hooks on top of the right knee. Take an inhale, come high up onto the right toes. And then exhale, sink the heel over towards the left. Right hand drags up. And you sink the hips down, maybe coming in, sitting the hips onto the floor, using that right hand to peel the left knee away from you. One more inhale here. And exhale, press down into the feet, into the hands, lift the hips into this figure 4 Vashisthasana. Exhale, right hand plants, keep the momentum going, drop the heel over towards the right. Inhale, Vashisthasana. Draw that left knee up and in towards the chest. Look to the front of the mat and then step it down as lightly as you can. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, sink the hips down low. One more inhale to get long. Exhale, hands come down through heart center, lean the weight over that front leg. Drag the back foot up, warrior 3. Inhale, exhale. Next inhale, you're coming up to stand, drawing that right knee up and into the chest. And as you exhale, you're hooking that right knee on top of the left and sinking down, figure 4 chair. Again, you can stay more upright, floating with the balance. You can fold over the leg a bit more, sinking the hips, getting into the hips. You can take that arm balance, hooking the leg over top of the arms, maybe even flexing through the right toes to really hook it. Plant the hands down out in front of you and start shifting the weight. Maybe you kick that left heel up and in towards the butt, hold there.
Maybe you straighten through the back leg. Wherever you are, stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Land the foot. If you flew, rise up to stand, draw that right knee up and into the chest. And then exhale, set it down in line with the left. Give the legs a shake out if you need. And then next inhale, rise up onto the toes. Sink the hips down onto the heels. Stay straight through the spine. Draw the knees up and in towards the collarbones. And then knees, triceps, knees. Plant the hands. Take it into your Bakasana Crow Pose. The higher up into the armpits those knees are, the easier it will be to create that little shelf to float the legs. If you're floating one foot off at a time, great. If you're in your Bakasana and you want to hold there, great. If you've got a strong Bakasana, try to float one knee center, set it down, float the other leg center, set it down. And wherever you are, we're holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Transition, float back, flumble back, vinyasa if you like. We're all meeting back in downward facing dog. When you get to downward facing dog, go ahead, drop the knees down, untuck the toes, take a child's pose. Feel your breath moving in and out, flooding through your system. Replenishing you with that wonderful life force, that breath. Next inhale, come back up into your tabletop position. Tuck the toes underneath you, lift the heels up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right toes reach up and back behind you. As you exhale, right knee taps right tricep, and then you're kicking the foot over towards the left wrist and sinking down, half pigeon. So this right heel can be a little bit closer in towards your sit bones. If you find you have quite a lot of space, you might need a heel toe that foot out so it's at a more 90-degree angle out in front of you. Just find a stretch that works for you. You're going to prop yourself up on any blocks or props. If you want to stay upright or if you want to stay folded. Settle into your space. Find a sense of release here, of relief. Starting to slow everything down. Three more deep breaths here. Next inhale lifts you back up. Sink over onto that right hip and then draw that left leg out and around Janushirshasana. Sole of the right foot comes to meet the inside of the left thigh.
I always like to grab a hold of the outer edge of my left foot, kind of draw my torso across body. Just gets a little bit more into my QL and my lower back, which feels really good to me. I don't know really why, but it's an area that is quite tight for me, so maybe it is for you. Or maybe there's a different sensation you want to tap into here. One more inhale. Deep exhale. Next inhale brings you back upright. You're going to plant the right hip to the outside, the right hand to the outside of the right hip. And just press the hips forward, coming into a little wild thing variation, just to open up that space once again. And then go ahead, exhale, sink the hips down. And for symmetry's sake, we can come back into that downward facing dog. You can just find your way back into half pigeon on the other side. Inhale, left foot reaches up and back behind you. Exhale, draw it to tap that left tricep, and then spin that heel around to the left, to the right wrist. Sink the hips down, half pigeon. You can stay upright, you can fold. Whatever finds that relief and that release for you. You let each exhale be a little bit longer. Starting to really extend those exhalations. Help drop us down into our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest state. Help to bring us back into a state of balance after all of that energy and work that we just did. Three more long, deep breaths here. Next inhale brings you back upright. You can drop over onto that left hip, swing the right leg around, join the left sole of that foot into the inner thigh of the right. Come into your Janushirshasana. So I'm going to reach around, grab the outer edge of my right foot, kind of come across body here. Get into a little bit of a lower back stretch for me. Again, any other ways that you want to find this stretch is totally your own. Next inhale brings you back up to a seat. Plant the left hand outside of left hip. Swing the right hand up and over the ear, bridge the hips up for this little front body opener. Press the hips forward, expand through the chest, the front body. And then exhale, sinks the hips back down. Take the legs both out in front of you, give them a wriggle. Bend into the knees, go ahead, roll onto your back. Draw the knees up and in towards the chest. Give them a nice tight squeeze here. And then let the left leg go long, keep the right knee hugged in towards the chest. And as you exhale, take the left hand onto the outside of the right knee, draw it across towards the left, come into a nice easy twist here. Shoulder blades stay grounded onto the earth, so if you kind of need to peel that left shoulder out from underneath you, go for it. And I always just like to drape my left hand on top of that right thigh, just to kind of encourage it to drop down to the earth. But even then, sometimes gravity can be really enough here. Next inhale draws you back up to center. Squeeze both knees into the chest once again. Keep hold of the left knee, send the right leg out long. Shift up onto the hips and take that left knee over towards the right. Any variation of the arms. Ground through your shoulders and then just allow gravity to really weigh onto that left leg. If you want a little extra encouragement, your hand is always there for it. I always like to think about in this stretch as well as sending my left hip forward to the front of the mat. Kind of draws that hip down and really stretches through my side body. Helps me just open up a little bit more space, find a little bit more awareness and sensation. Next inhale, draw the knees back up and in towards the chest. One final tight squeeze. If you want to take a happy baby or any symmetrical pose to finish off with, feel free to do so. And then whenever you have had enough, whenever you are ready, send the legs out long, take the arms out wide, take up space here. Allow your body to really be pressed into the earth. Feel like the earth could hold you up as your body releases down into it. All muscles releasing, all tension releasing. Just allow yourself to really drop in and down here, to fully release, to let go of all of that effort of practice, and to totally drop into a state of ease and comfort and peace. You can stay in this Shavasana for as long as it serves you, for as long as you like. As always, thank you so much for practicing with me. It is always such a pleasure, and I really appreciate having you all here in this space, and to be able to move with you in this way is truly such a gift. So thank you so much. Make sure that before you leave your mat today that you give yourself a moment of gratitude for showing up, for connecting with yourself and giving yourself the kindness so that you can go out and give that kindness to others. Whatever you have coming up next, go well. Peace.